literature, democracy, civilization, poets, and heroes. A country that is rich in history and is considered the birthplace of Western civilization. A country that is rich in culture that has been cultivated throughout its history. Greece.
When you hear the country Greece, the first thing that comes to mind is something along the lines of god and goddesses, temples, Homer, mythology, and Trojan War. It is not a surprise if these are the things that you think of when it comes to the country Greece. Because of the Western media and Hollywood film, Greece became popular and well known because of these things used in film like the Trojan War starring Brad Pitt. So it is possible for people to take interest in the country Greece. Aside from the popularity it gained from the Western media, the influence of Greece throughout history is also a big factor why people take interest in the country. For example, the very first known Olympic was held in ancient Greece until spread internationally and became a popular sport tournament. The country is also known for being the birthplace of democracy and it is believed to be the cradle of Western civilization. So it is not surprising that many people find Greece interesting.
Because of how popular Greece is, its tourism is definitely a huge factor for the growth of its economy income. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the total contribution of travel and tourism to GDP in Greece was around 38 billion euros. Greece ranked 57 in the world. In Southern Europe, it ranked 7th. And in 2020, Greece generated around 6.19 billion US dollars in the tourism sector alone. This corresponds to 2.9% of its gross domestic product and approximately 13% of all international tourism receipts in Southern Europe. This country is still highly dependent on the travel industry in a good year. It accounts for more than 20% of the country's GDP. Because of this, the effect of the industry in the country is undeniably significant. Tourism helps the Greek economy. This surge in tourism has sparked a large revenue intake for the Greek economy. In 2018, travel services in Greece reported an intake of 16 billion euros, approximately 18 billion US dollars, up 14 million euros since 2017. They attribute this surplus to a 40% increase in travel receipts and a 53% increase in travel sales. That year, the effect of tourism on Greece's gross domestic product was an estimated 20.6%, reaching 44.6 billion US dollars. In fact, this is double the global average of 10.4%. This means out of every 5 euros spent in Greece stems from travel and tourism.
And here are some of the country's popular tourist destination spots. Number 1 is Olympia. Olympia is an ancient site on Greece's Peloponnese Peninsula that hosted the original Olympic Games founded in the 80th century BC. Its extensive ruins include athletic training areas, a stadium, and temples dedicated to the gods Hera and Zeus. The next is Delphi. Delphi is a UNESCO World Heritage Site built on the lower slopes of Mount Parnassus. The site was sacred to the ancients who came here on pilgrimage to worship Apollo, gods of light, prophecy, music, and healing, and to ask advice from the mythical oracle. And the next is Crete. Crete is also a very popular destination for tourists and offers so much history and culture. On the top of the list is the Samarial Gorge 16-kilometer, 10 miles long canyon southwest Crete. And the last is Athens. Athens is referred to the historical capital of Europe in 1834, and it became the capital of the modern Greek state in 2 centuries since that time. It has become an attractive modern city with unrivaled charm that is by far Greece's most visited destination. It is safe to say that Santorini is by far Greece, if not the world's number one island destination for tourists. With such as picturesque backdrop, Santorini is the best known for the cliff-top towns of Thera and Oia, which lie on the west coast overlooking the deep blue sea-filled caldera.
But of course, there will always be challenges that the country's tourism industry faces. There will always be something that may affect the industry, regardless of what country it is. Here are some of the challenges that Greece faces on their tourism industry. Greece will be one of the losers from climate change. For tourist areas in Greece, the impact of climate change in comfort of tourists has been estimated for 2021 to 2050, compared with 1961 to 1990, based on a midline scenario for carbon dioxide emissions and economic growth. The number of days where temperature is above 35 degrees Celsius will probably increase by 5 to 10 days. The number of warm nights per year above 20 degrees Celsius will probably increase by about a month. The length of the tourism season, defined as days with maximum temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius, additional summer days in all tourist areas of Greece. The estimation may increase to 30 in coastal areas of Crete. Other problems are shortage of water that restrict the operation of tourist facilities, swimming pools, golf courses, and increasing risk of forest fires in many areas. The return of malaria to the southern Mediterranean region also cannot be ruled out.
But despite challenges that the Greek tourism industry faces, among the obstacles that the country has encountered, opportunities arise. During the pandemic, Greece was one of the countries that was really affected by the pandemic. Thousands of death cases were estimated, quarantine was executed, shops, malls, and factories were shut down, and the growth of the tourism industry in the country plummeted. It was a huge crisis that the country faced. Following an unprecedented crisis due to the pandemic, Greece's recovery and resilience plan responds to the urgent need of fostering a strong recovery and making Greece ready for the future. The reforms and investments in the plan will help Greece become more sustainable, resilient, and better prepared for challenges and opportunities of the green and digital transitions. To this end, the plan consists of 106 investments measures and 68 reforms. They will be supported by 17.77 billion euro in grants and 12.73 billion euros in loans. 37.5% of the plan will support climate objectives and 23.3% of the plan will foster the digital transitions. The transformative impact of Greece's plan is the result of a strong combination of reforms and investments which address the specific challenge of Greece. The reform addressed bottlenecks to lasting and sustainable growth, while investments accelerated the transition towards a low-carbon, digital, and more inclusive economy.
As an individual who also has an interest in the country and one day hoping to visit the country, it is my wish to see the country continue to flourish. And among the cases that were discussed, my recommendation on how to solve and address such issues from a tourist point of view is that they should focus on investment, on planning on sustainability, and should focus on sectors that helps in maintaining the growth of the industry. With how popular the country Greece is, it is undeniable that the tourism industry and sector in the country will flourish. But if not well planned, then the country will lose income and may lose revenue. All in all, Greece is an interesting country that garners thousands of tourists, and its tourism is definitely a big factor to the growth of the economy of the country. But like any other country, Greece can also face obstacles in the industry, so it is important to always plan ahead for different possible scenarios that the country may face.